Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to all listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love is Blind, Season 2, Episode 6. Now, Chris, starting to shape up a little bit now. Not quite as much as I thought it was going to do, but got a little bit more towards the end there. But where do you want to start today?
Well, Dave, I want to start with Shayne, actually. Now, we know she's after Shayne. We know that she's called the validity of Shayne and Natalie's relationship. I agree with her. I think Shayne's a fucking blagger. I think Shayne's sort of always looking for an out within their relationship. But it was when Shayne had took Kyle to her house and her brothers are there. And she said, like, yeah, my dad's in construction, my brothers are. And all her brothers are like clones of the dad, aren't they? Different hairstyles, but they all, you can tell they're all related. Now, her moral compass has been, in the moment, is basically, I don't want to be with Kyle. Let's see where it goes. I want Shayne. I think she's got terrible taste in men because there's nothing between her and Kyle, and Shayne is not the guy for her, Dave. I'd be amazed. I know out there's somebody for everyone, but I'd be amazed if they made it long term. But her fucking family are questioning like Kyle, who's a great bloke. Everything was fine until we got to the religion question. Now, Shayne has got even worse views on life, I think, Dave. He's a fucking free spirit. He doesn't give a shit. Money burns a hole in his pocket. Sounds a bit like me, really, Dave. But anyway, he is like another like red flag. But poor Kyle's getting so much shit from like a mum and a dad and a brothers. Like, are you open to religion? And it's like, that's his views. I think she should respect the fact that he's not religion. Why would he want to be religious or do that to get with her? That doesn't make any sense. You opposites attract. Everyone has their own opinion. He's very strong on it, but he does it in a good, articulate way. And Shayne, for me, is just a fucking hypocrite, Dave. The whole premise of the start of this episode was her family laying into Kyle. I'm thinking, wow, Kyle's had a dog's life because of Shayne, and she's just been taking the piss all the way through. He's even give her his mum's engagement ring or whatever it was, or wedding ring. And it's like, she's just an absolute blagger.
I'm not sure I see it exactly the same way. I think Kyle is a bit of a blagger himself because I don't know. It was a strange thing when you went back to the pods. They kind of came across this religion topic, and I can see that it's a big problem. Chris, I would not get on well with someone who is a creationist, and believes the world was born, 1,000 years ago or something, or was it 15,000 years or whatever it is, and goes to church every Sunday. I would respect someone else for doing that, but I think it would just cause so many friction points in your life. Whereas Kyle is completely ignorant to all of those things. He's just like, come on, get over it. And she's like, but this is a big deal to me. And he's like, yeah, it's not a big deal though, is it really? I don't know. I'm not. It's one of those where I'd say a curse on all their houses because I've got no skin in the game. I don't think Shayne is particularly nice either. But I found it weird the way Kyle was just, again, head down. He was like Lord Farquhar. I'm sure I said it with him last week that he's just ignoring all of the signs around him and just wanting to plow ahead with her. And in the end, I did appreciate, actually, that she did spell it out for him and said, look, this isn't going to happen. We've seen it in the past where, Jessica on the last season, just strung, it's Mark, wasn't it? Mark was Lord Farquhar, just strung him along a bit so she could try and get in Bennett's pants, So at least she's not trying to do that. It's just Kyle is not listening to anything she's got to say. And the religion thing, again, one of the reasons I particularly, personally, it's just my own point of view, I don't get on with it is because, different religions or people who follow them are so exclusive Now, not every religion is like that, but some of them are. So if they are, then it's like, we've chosen the right religion. So if we follow this strict set of rules, then we will ascend to heaven. All the other people who worship all the other religions won't, because they chose the wrong one. It's just such utter horseshit for me. But good luck to anyone who does think that. But I just don't think they really would be flogging a dead horse. And if she didn't break it off with Kyle, I'd be on here now saying about how she's just stringing him along, and it's clear it's never going to work.
Now, I get that, but obviously, I was brought up Catholic, so religion is in my family. I don't follow it at all now, Dave, as I get older. Unfortunately, the best schools in our area were Catholic schools. That's sort of how we came to that point. My grandparents were Catholic and that. So we grew up with that, the whole religion thing, everything, going to mass. I was an altar boy, all that sort of thing as a kid. But I did get paid, Dave, for being an altar boy. Let's be honest. Oldest of 9 kids, didn't have a lot of money. I'd serve every mass and funeral going that there was, unfortunately, to make some money because we had nothing. But
Chris, did I tell you? I'm not sure we've spoken about this. So, my little side projects, the music one with Tony and Max that we started up. So we've started off going back to one of my favorite albums, released in 1989 by Skid Row. And the lead singer, Sebastian Bach, actually cut his teeth as an altar boy, as a choir boy. Dave. That was where he really discovered he had the pipes, to really belt it out. I thought that was, interesting little parallel with yourself there.
What happened to my voice then? Anyway,
he was out there playing like Wembley Stadium and stuff. You were playing the dog and duck.
Hey, you were fucking stood next to me. Don't you dare give me that. But, anyway, but no, I agree. But no, it's a very difficult thing with religion because, like, I find a lot of people who take a moral stance on things, it's difficult when you've got religion behind you, Dave, because you're always going to come across as a hypocrite. That's my opinion as someone who grew up Catholic. It's a very, very fine line with this. And when that comes into it, for someone who's not religious and someone who is, it's a difficult thing. I do think, like I say, opposites attract. It's always a good thing. And, Kyle could, at some point in his life, he may do that. But these two are not compatible at all. I've not seen anything in Kyle to think he was a bad guy or anything. I thought like it was Shayne who was just taking the piss and stringing him along, I must admit. But I think with them and the whole thing when he kicked off with her, it was sort of like, and I must admit, that was the one bit where I was thinking, well, when they had that sort of come together and he's like, I think we should move in. And Shayne is like, holy shit. You can see on her face, like, have you not got the fucking message yet? He's not reading the signals. Read the signals. And he got a bit arsey, and I'm thinking, I know we're only seeing an edited show and we're just seeing snippets and the family. He wouldn't have seen what her mum said and all that thing. But it's like, for me, you must get a vibe off her that she's not interested in one bit. Unless she turns it on for the camera and she's all blagging on the camera, but off camera, they're really good together. Because I've seen fuck all between these two, Dave. So I thought it was the right decision from her, to be honest. I thought it was the first time she'd been honest. But I'm still questioning this Shayne situation. I don't know what she's doing. What I'm saying is the whole religion thing at the start, then for me, she turns into a hypocrite later on because she's happy to sort of commit adultery and she wants a bit of Shayne. That's not really what it's all about, Dave, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Look,
it's a fine line. I know religion is a fine line.
I think Shayne has just got a particular look in mind. And I can't see Shayne being, someone who goes to church every Sunday, but I could see him being someone who pays lip service to religion, and says, he's going to be a Christian, isn't he? So that's one up, or probably on Shayne's scale, a few up from being an atheist and being quite a vocal atheist as well. So I think that's why she thinks Shayne is one of, but it is just physical attraction as well. I think, and well, let's say that initially they had that good connection in the pods, but I think Shayne she is backing the wrong horse there, because I think Shayne again, he's got that slightly angriness just lurking under the surface, doesn't he?
Yeah.
As soon as something doesn't go his way, he gets really angry really quick. And that's how Shane and Shayna ended up, parting ways initially in the pods, because she'd brought it up about Natalie and what have you. And then he was just getting all angry about it. But, as they say, Chris, we seem to have said this a few times in the last few weeks, but she shot her shot, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I know we put him right to the end there, but there's no messing about. There's no kind of like, even Jessica wasn't as blatant as this in season 1. Shayna has just laid it all out there on the line, and it is so manipulative what she's saying about Natalie and what have you. I just thought, right, I can't wait to get to the next episode now.
Yeah, and I agree, because that's what I was saying about the religion things. Like, wow, you've fucking taken this religion thing. Like, you're so religious, but you're ready to fucking do this. It's a show. You've got to do it. I agree. Sometimes you've got to be upfront. I think Shayne's going to go for it, Dave. Let's be honest. I think that poor Natalie is the one who's committed in that relationship. And exactly what you said, Shayne just wants an out. He's looking for any excuse for a massive blow up. I mean, Natalie's saying to him, and I do, one thing I liked about this relationship before this situation with Shayna at the end is the talking. I know it's a set up conversation, but the talking. And when she's saying about like saving up for the future, you need a 401k plan and all that. And he's like, well, I'll spend $2,000 a month on food. Like $2,000 a month. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know what he is.
I'm thinking he must be the best trainer in the gym ever, Dave, to be in shape like that. You know what I mean? He's $2,000 a month. He must be eating the best fucking steak and chicken. Yeah. And then she's like, save a bit of money. And he's like, nah. I'm thinking, wow, these are not going to last.
No, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because she even said she sees in Shayne everything that she isn't.
Yeah.
And it's that old kind of adage, isn't it, about opposites attract. And I just don't really buy it. She is so grounded, so level-headed, and he's a fucking bit of a balloon head. I just can't see that ever working, to be honest. So regardless of whether Shayna was on the scene or not, I just don't really see it with Natalie and Shayne, to be honest.
No, I'm with you, Dave. I'm with you. And what about, though, Dave, just moving on slightly, Danielle and Nick. So after Shayne has took...
My word.
Yeah, exactly. After Shayne has took Luke back and he got a bit of a grill. Luke, sorry, got a grill for family, as we said. Danielle takes Nick to see her family. Her mum is a psychologist, and she basically... going through Nick, looking at him as a person, observing he's a great guy. They're very open about sex and that, Dave. They all go on this thing. And Danielle literally is like, there's got to be something wrong here. This guy can't be as nice as he is. He can't be. I know Nick's standing up for himself and they've had a few little blow-ups, but I can only see, I might be wrong here, Dave, but I'm pretty certain that 80% of what I'm seeing is Danielle's fault. She's very insecure. She feels like she's trying to self-destruct the relationship before it goes anywhere because she doesn't want to commit because she's worried how hurt she's going to get. But that argument they had was ridiculous. I've been with narcissistic people in the past. I'm like, this is not going well, this is not.
Oh, no, that went from 0 to 100 really quickly, didn't it? Oh, Christ.
And he apologized. He kept saying, I'm sorry, I had something going on. And she's like, oh, it all revolves around you. And I'm thinking, no, Danielle, it all revolves around you, not him.
They both said some fairly shitty things, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
I can't remember who called who a narcissist.
She called him a narcissist. And then he said, the world doesn't revolve around you.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
That was bad as well. That was bad.
She does strike me as someone massively insecure, and I don't think this was quite as bad as like the previous blow up, whichever episode that was, when she was basically crying in a closet for 3 hours because she was on her own. I think this lady's got issues, to be honest. But then when she was saying about he was on his phone and on about talking to his friends and stuff like that, I was like, well, it does seem a little bit, ignorant at best. It's a big thing for her to bring you home to the family and what have you. But it didn't seem like a proportionate response to just throw out the narcissism there. But these have quickly gone into a cycle of just having a bit of a blow up, him storming off, and then coming back and apologizing, rinse and repeat. And, it's, again, I don't feel like this early you should be having quite so many problems as this. So, from the first episode, these look fairly solid, but I just think she's got issues to sort out. I'm sure he has himself as well, but generally it does seem like she's on the front foot when it comes to sabotaging the relationship, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's just scared, Dave. I think she's been really hurt in the past. She's got a lot of issues, as we all have, and I think that's what it comes down to. She's just looking for some excuse, really, which is a shame because, like you say, they were really solid, they were really sweet. And I do think you're right. We've had a cycle over 2 or 3 episodes of argument, kick off, next day, forget about it, we're all good again. I know that's how life goes sometimes, don't you? You do get them things where you have a bust up and stuff, but usually you won't have them that often so soon. Me and Sam used to have a bust up day about once every couple of months. We had one a few weeks ago. Sam decided to power off Dave, power walking, couldn't catch her. So I just left the walking, Dave. She kept looking over her shoulder to see if I was there, Dave. But I was like, we had a bit of a dust up as we were going for our power walk. But we was all sorted 15 weeks later. I mean, no, 15 hours later. Was it? No, 15 minutes, something like that. But no, you do have them in a relationship. You get on each other's nerves. You piss each other off. Doesn't help that she's got a smart ass as a husband, Dave, because you know me, I'm always got a line back, which doesn't help the situation. But there you go. Anyway. So, Dave, what about now? One of the couples which I would never have said would have made it after what happened is Mallory. What's he called? My God, that's Sal.
Sal. Yeah.
Sal. But when they went to see Sal's sisters and that conversation, she was getting really emotional. They were dead tight together. She's like, "This is it for us." I was like, "Wow," because after Jarrett and her had spoke to each other by the beach in the last episode, it looked like there was still a bit of something there between them, but she was all in on this. And I'm thinking, no, surely these can't be one of the only couples who are going to be together. Is it a camera thing? I don't know. Is she being polite because it's his sisters and she feels backed into a corner? I'm not sure, but it looked pretty genuine to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be on the fence with this one. I think the thing with Jarrett and Mallory, I'm not convinced is completely dead just yet. But Mallory, if you were scoring this, you'd put it fairly high, wouldn't you? You'd say she did quite well, interacting with his sisters and stuff. And, he comes across quite genuine, I think. But like I say, the only thing that will disrupt them, I think, is that, she says Jarrett's pretty much her type. He's like boyfriend she's gone for in the past. I just wonder if Sal is maybe a bit too different. And let's see. I mean, obviously, the human part of me does want them to work. The sadistic reality TV part of me wants there to be a bit of drama and a bit of cheating and a bit of fucking a few tears and whatever, because I'm a bastard.
No, I think you're right, because the last couple is Deepti and Shayne. Obviously, they go to see her family. A couple of heart-to-hearts, all seem amicable. He has questions saying she's more like a sister. A little bit different than the way he's approached us this week when he's with the family. So it could be that, like we said about Mallory, Dave. He could be like just being too polite, but I'm not holding out for them. And then obviously, I know, as we said, we got the Shayne thing at the end, which was a complete setup. I've got to say, Dave, the camera work is slick as fuck in this show. It's too overproduced. Yeah. When Shayne fucked off from Kyle when she said it was over, the camera followed her. Like you see them runners on the 100 meters where they're running with it was so low and following a strut. She almost looked at the camera and broke the fourth wall. I was like, oh, this is proper bullshit. They've done this bit I don't know how many times.
Yeah, no, it's not good. I mean, it gives me almost that Bachelor feeling, but I mean, these are not as good candidates, are they, as the Bachelor? Or I don't mean candidates. I mean, like, some of them do actually seem like they're there for the genuine reasons. They're not as well polished as the Bachelor contestants. I think that's what I want to say. But back to Deepti and Shayne, I'm just not convinced Shake will get over this thing that Deepti's a bit like a sister more than a partner.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot to mention in the last episode, what I found amusing was Deepti was saying, it was something like, oh, it'd be great, we could just get up and go anywhere. It's such a great thing, to have that freedom. And he's saying, well, I've got my business, so it does require hard work. And then she completely does a 180 and says, yeah, of course that means. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that in life, that you've just got to sacrifice your time to build a business and stuff. And I was like, hang about. Is everyone just forgot what you said a minute ago about just, being a free spirit pretty much and just getting up and going when you fancy? But, as cynical old me saw it, he bought it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you know what? Oh, maybe this is someone that I could actually be a partner with. And, she's going to accept the fact that I'm going to have to throw myself into my work to build up my business and everything, and then hopefully reap the rewards in, the next decade or something. But I just feel like he carried on in that same respect when he met the family and that, and just, I think he's trying to make it work, but I don't think he'll get over the attraction thing.
No, I don't think. And I agree, Dave, once you say that someone feels like your sister, we know exactly what happened to my McFly, Dave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He couldn't get over the fact he was kissing his mother, but that's a different film and different story. But there you go. I mentioned that quote the other day, didn't I? But anyway.
I still think he was thinking about it. But
now, Dave. Oh, we did get one other thing, actually. Sorry. Jarrett and Leanna went back to Jarrett's house, didn't we? And she was like, oh, it smells like, but then she found a little bit of some of the DNA of his ex-girlfriends, a couple of little trinkets and things they'd left, and she wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, I think, that I can see both perspectives there. I think she's right. Oh, I don't know if she's right, but it's her perspective that, once you split up with an ex, that's it, you're done. You don't kind of try and carry on as like good, pally friends or whatever. Whereas he's like, she bought me a cool present, I'm not going to throw it out just because we broke up. So I don't know. I think I'm on the fence about these. I'm just not convinced the whole thing with Mallory is dead. That sort of stops me really investing into this couple. But actually, if you were to put money on it, they've probably got as good a chance as any, haven't they? In fact, they're probably the most likely, if the whole Jarrett and Mallory thing doesn't happen. Then they seem to get on. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah. No, good stuff, Dave. Good stuff. So, Dave, we've had an email, and it isn't in relation to Love is Blind. It's in relation to Maths Australia, and it's from our good friend Ebony. She said, Chris and Dave, I found your podcast as I was watching Maths Australia with my partner, and like you guys, felt emotionally exhausted after some episodes. After debriefing episodes with my partner, I still needed more. Hearing a UK perspective of the show is just what I needed. I was so on board with everything you guys said that I would honestly verbally respond while driving in the car listening to you guys. My two favourite quotes, I think this one comes down to you, Dave, referring to Andrew as a cauliflower cunt, referring to Jackson as a wet lettuce, both are comedy gold and hit the nail on the head so perfectly. Also, loved how frequently you called everyone bellends, as we don't really use that term in Australia. You know what, Dave? We need to do a T-shirt saying "What a bellend."
Comes up a lot, doesn't it?
Doesn't it, Bell? We need to do. That's the T-shirt.
I was walking past like a gift shop before, and there was a book, and it was called something like 52 Times Britain Was a Bellend. Something like that. I was like, oh. I should have took a picture of it.
we should commit to that, Let's do a T-shirt, what a bellend.
Yeah.
Chris and Dave say, what a bellend. That's what it should say. Instead of Frankie says, Chris and Dave. And then she said, sorry, the railroad in this email. She put two things. Firstly, a root does mean to fuck. So you guys nailed that. Secondly, I don't know where you visited in Oz, but cricket is 100% a dying sport, and he's not the number one sport in Oz by a long shot. Ha ha. Sorry, that was me that in 2010. I couldn't get over how much it was covered on the TV then. Where I'm from, Aussie Rules is the number one, and rugby behind that. And I don't know more people that are into the Premier League and American sports over cricket. Oh, and I know more people are into American sports and Premier League. Couldn't believe my ears. Haha. Please don't read this as aggressive. I'm just taking the piss and having a laugh. We don't, Ebony, don't worry. I've just have one phrase question off the top of my head. You referred to Olivia, Tamara and Sam as humps, I think. What does that mean? No, it wasn't humps. What it was, Ebony, we were trying to say C-U-N-T, but without saying it, because I know a lot of people don't like that word. We said hunt, H-U-N-T-S, hunts, when really we meant put a C in front of it, if you know what I mean. The worst thing about all this is I'm going to watch far more reality now than I should, just to listen to other episodes of your podcast. I'm in big trouble. Ha ha. Anyway, it's been beautiful hearing you rip into these cunts who I can't believe live in the same country I do. It's so embarrassing. And I thought you would enjoy some feedback from an invested Aussie. So much love from Ebony. P.S. I've started watching Byron Bays. Now, I've said this one day. It's on Netflix. This looks fantastic. It's so shit and relatable and not relatable. But if you cover it, I suppose I'll have to watch it, laugh out loud. So that is... Top email, Dave. We've not had a good one like that for age. So thank you, Ebony, and thank you for listening and finding us. It's really good here.
That's an amazing email. Amazing. So we haven't, like you say, we haven't had too many emails of late, but it's always good to get one, and always good to get a new listener as well.
Yeah, exactly, Dave. But Dave, I'm thinking of this merchandising thing. Bellends there, innit? We call each other Bellends enough. I'm going to work on something in the background. There you go.
Well, I did the VHS one. You do the reality cast one. Then.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a few on the bullshit bingo card, isn't there, that we could lift and stick on a t-shirt.
Yeah. The Bellend one of the things.
Just doing the design and the artwork and stuff and setting the shop up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you know that you're going to be saying, have you done that yet, Chris? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing.
Yeah.
No comment. No comment. Anyway, if you do want to support us, guys, get over to Patreon, patreon.com/CD Realitycast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And if you do want to follow us on social media, @CD Realitycast. So today's roll call of honour is Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Noreen, Zoe, Joanna, Helen, Katie, Dee Dee, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Lauren, Lucky Lily Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. And watch this space. There may be some merchandise. There you go. I don't know if people want to walk around with a t-shirt on saying Chris and Dave say what a bell end. But you never know. Let's get some feedback. Tell us if that's the right thing to do or not, guys. I don't think we're going to get done for a copyright infringement anyway.
No. But Chris, I mean, we've been making progress with Love Is Blind, but you know what seems to be catching fire at the minute is this new Netflix series, Ultimatum.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, I think the last episode's actually come out this week, so we've missed the start of it and everything. But I was thinking that maybe we could start that one before we finish Love Is Blind. But I do think we've been going so slowly through Love Is Blind. It's going to take us another 5 weeks, and then there's a reunion, I think, after that as well. So we might batch up like a couple of episodes, I think, for Love Is Blind, 2 or 3 episodes, and then that will help us get through this season quicker, and then we can get an Ultimatum after that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe dovetail it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think you're right. It's just because of maths, wasn't it? We had Bachelor at one point and everything, didn't we? We had all these things coming together. So now they've finished. No, I'm up for that one. It looks brilliant. And I've seen the great feedback on our Facebook page. So get over to Facebook, guys, as well. Chris and Dave's Reality TV cast, our great friend Charlene runs it and moderates it over there. And there was a lot of chat about that, saying if you watched it, and a few people have already got into it, Dave. So yeah, I'm definitely on my list. It's ready to go on Netflix, to be honest.
Cool. All right, mate. Well, thank you very much, sir. And thanks to everyone out there for listening. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.